Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by. So this video is essentially just the first 20 minutes of me playing Jurassic World Evolution 3 in Sandbox mode. Essentially at this point, I've done a couple of missions in campaign and I've watched some YouTube videos on how to do some of the terrain controls and essentially just do Sandbox, which is kind of the mode that I want to play the game in to start off with. Essentially, I'm just learning as I go. So if you're someone who's interested in playing this game, you don't have it, you're not ready to commit, this is a really good introduction into sort of starting a brand new park from scratch, as Sandbox is unlocked from the beginning, which is something that I really enjoy about Jurassic World Evolution 3. The first one I found was a little bit limited. So by all means, if you're someone who's more into just kind of running your own park and building your own dinosaur park from scratch, then this video is for you. This is going to be a series. This is just the first 20 minutes or so. I didn't want to upload, a 2.5 hour video straight off the bat. So I'm just going to edit it down into more digestible chunks in 20-minute chunks, that sort of thing. And yeah, if you're interested, let me know in the comments anything else that you'd want to see. I do have a fair amount of content from my first stream. I did it for about 2.5 hours, and yeah, let me know if you'd like to see anything else. There will be more videos coming in this series as well. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. So the thing that I really like about the Sandbox is how you can just change settings halfway through. So what I'm thinking is, because terrain is something that I always tend to struggle with a little bit, and I've been watching a couple of YouTube videos on how to do it. I'm thinking that we'll start an island from the island generator, maybe on like unlimited money, and then once I'm happy with the terrain and I got like a bit of a roadmap on where we're going, then I can turn money on and actually have a challenge, because I don't really like starting or running a park with unlimited money. It feels, I don't know, it feels too easy. I'm not sure. But yeah, so we will not be in creative. We'll go, I think, standard. I really want to just do Jurassic Park staff and guests. Yeah, Jurassic Park staff and guests. I want to do like a Jurassic Park, the classic kind of original movie vibe. All of this is normal. I don't really know what any of these settings are. Okay, so cash, we'll start off with unlimited cash while I fuck around with the environment. And then I actually don't want a day-night cycle because it kind of gets annoying after a while. Okay, so I think I'm pretty happy with these settings. I don't really want to muck around too much with these. As I said, I haven't really played the game much at all. Existing autos, yeah, whatever. We haven't really started anything, so now we get to spend 4 hours coming up with an island. Isn't this going to be fun? Phenomenal. I do really like what they've done with this game. So years ago, when I was way more into streaming than I am now, during the COVID times, I would stream the first game, Jurassic World Evolution 1, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I just found it very limited. In that there wasn't a lot of space that you could have on the island. Okay, what kind of... I'm still not really sure what a lot of these sliders do. I think this one just makes it more of a solid piece of land, and then this makes it... See how it's like way more... It's like pretty much you've got like a bit of an archipelago here. So this is I don't like this at all. Let's go midway. It's still not enough land. It's a tiny little island. One thing that I would love to do is have bigger islands. This is looking pretty good. I don't mind this. I don't mind this. We can like start off over here. Clear out that forest. Maybe we could reduce the trees a little bit, because we can always add in more trees, right? So maybe we make trees really little. Yeah, something like this. That's looking pretty good. Water, again, water is one of those ones where you can kind of just add it in later. But it would be nice to have some kind of like environment to work around. And then mountains, let's reduce the mountains. Something like that's not too bad. I think this is okay. We've got a nice big lake in the middle. So we can kind of like maybe build our hotels and stuff around the lake. I think that's what, you know, we would do. So let's just go with this one. This is a good start. Now again, this is a complete brand new fresh start for me. I haven't played really any of this. I've done some of the campaign, enough to... Hey, that's a nice like semi-deep lake. I've done enough of the campaign to kind of figure out how to play. And also just, you know, from memory of playing the first one, it seems that when you start, you got to get the genomes, and then you got to incubate the dinos and all that sort of thing. So we actually do have a really nice area here that we could turn into an enclosure. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. So this is perfect, right? Right here, this is great. And what I would like to do, and this is why the money is unlimited at the moment, because terrain can be super expensive, right? So is terrain? It is an environment. Okay, cool. This is already pretty flat, so I don't really need to muck around too much with this. And we've got some nice cliffs here as well. Now, a little trick that I found is if you paint trees on cliffs, I think you just get rocks, right? Yeah, so that's so cool. Look, honestly, these terrain tools are amazing. I really love them. And this is coming from someone who gets very overwhelmed by terrain tools. So we're just going to paint some rocks here. And already that looks gorgeous. You know, they're so easy. They're so easy to use. Okay, now we want to... Alright, this is going to be an enclosure. So we're going to raise the terrain, or maybe roughen the terrain around the sides so that they can't get out. Because you can now have... Yeah, see, look at this. Perfect. And this gives us even more to work with to put, you know, rocks on and stuff. So this is going to be a pretty small enclosure. But already we've got... We probably need to raise it around here as well, right? Yeah, perfect. Right, and then once again, we're just going to decorate the sides of it. Maybe not with some rocks. I mean, we can try. We can always... This is why I have the money turned off. Just do like some trees around the edge so it looks a bit more natural. Super cool. Really, really cool. And you know what? It'd be fantastic if we could somehow get like the creek... Let's get a creek to run maybe from this lake that goes down here, but also feeds... I wonder. Okay, let's just leave that for now. That's a nice little area that we've just created like in 5 seconds. You know, it's fantastic. What I want to do though is really find out where we want our guests to arrive. I think this might be a good starting point. If we flatten this out, let's scope it out a bit. Scope it out a bit. Even this is actually pretty good because you've got the lake here. We can smoothen this out. Let's do that. So flatten terrain. Yeah, it's just so easy. We can even turn the radius up, and we can really flatten this out. I want to turn the intensity up as well because that's a little slow. Oh, no, didn't mean to do that. Okay. Perfect. We have a... I think we're going to make this our arrival point. This is kind of a waste of space here, but it is what it is. And then we can also just like... Let's just bring this out so it's a bit more of a usable space. And then we can also just make this look a bit more natural by smoothing the terrain out. There we go. Cool. Smooth that out a bit. Smooth this. And then we may even do... Oh, here we go. So a dynamic ramp. So I have never used this tool before. So maybe from here to there. Yeah, that looks really good. And then we can smoothen this stuff out as well. Let's drop the radius down. And just make this look a bit more natural. And we can hide any sort of geometry imperfections by putting some, putting some trees down. So like, for example, I do like the conifer forests. And we can just do that. And it looks great already. Oh, fantastic. I'm pretty much just going to spend this entire video glazing over the terrain tools because I don't know if I'm the only one who feels this way, but as I said, terrain sometimes is just so overwhelming. Like, I tried to play the Planet games. I tried to play like Planet Zoo and Planet Coaster. I still have those games. I'd happily give them another go. But boy, oh boy, they were overwhelming because the problem was that it would just give you a flat map, And I was always kind of too lazy to really learn the tools. So I just wouldn't bother. And but this is just so much easier. It feels so much more intuitive. Okay. So I want to smooth the terrain here. There we go. Got to remember that we've got our smoothing tool to really help with any sort of imperfections. Cool. You know what? This can actually be our first enclosure as well. So the arrival point is going to be here. And then we've got access around here. Like, we need to figure out where we're going to put our operations. I think around here might be a good idea to put operations. We need to be conscious of power and all that sort of thing. I think I'm going to set the initial money to pretty high, And let's flatten the terrain. I need to get more familiar with these tools. Okay, well, we'll flatten the terrain and we'll put the radius up a bit. That's looking pretty good. And we'll kind of just bring this up here like that. Because this is going to be like a really important viewing platform. It's stuffed up some of my terrain. That's fine, no problem. And then we can kind of just smoothen this out. So maybe we can use a dynamic ramp. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. The only question is, like, where is this going, I guess? And we could have maybe, like, I'm not really sure on the features of the game, which is another problem in the planning. Is that, like, what could we fill this with? We'll figure it out later. Let's just take one step at a time. I think for now, I'm pretty happy with what we've done. And the thing is, right, with these settings, we can change them at any time. So I love that because terrain can be just ridiculously expensive. But the park part of the game, I want to have money switched on. So I'm fairly certain that if I go Sandbox settings, and I go maybe gameplay, no, park. Yeah, I can just change this at any time. How amazing is that? I love that. So now I can actually start playing the game. And to be fair, I have $32 million. I have no idea how much things cost. We're about to find out. What I want to do is maybe, if I can, if the game lets me, I might actually broaden this out. I love that I've just turned money on and immediately... no, it's not going to let me do it. Okay, that's fine. I think we've got plenty of space. So let's put down an arrival center. And I want to go the Jurassic Park? Yeah, cool. Okay. Now, if I hold down C, that sort of lets me rotate it anywhere. And I actually can put it right on this peninsula. And it's let me do it straight away. Phenomenal. We love that. Alright, cool. We're now down to 31 million buckaroonies. Well, pretty much 32, but I see the 31 and I immediately think 31. Let's lay down a bit of a path network. So, what I would love is... Let's go with... I'm just going to go the standard path. Let's keep things simple. And I would love to make like a circle here. We could even have some amenities around here. So we're going to have like a roundabout. I don't know how to do this, so this is going to be interesting. Okay, maybe let's stop there. And then I've got curve turned on. So if I think the game's just going to do it for me. Yeah, it is. It's giving me a little blueprint to follow. Oh my god, that is so easy. That's so easy. And we can put like a cool fountain here. Because that's the other thing that I would like to really give a crack, even though it's kind of seriously intimidating at first, is modular building. There's going to be heaps of stuff in the workshop that we can also access. But yeah, so alright, cool. So let's just follow the natural contours of the world. So we're just going to sort of put a bit of curve in here. Go all the way around to here. And then let's just end the path there. That'll do for now. And then, of course, we have our path that's going to lead up to our first exhibition. Which hopefully isn't too far away. We'll just we'll go all the way here. We do have a lot of money, and this stuff is not expensive, so we can afford to do this. Now, I may have to restructure this, maybe to make room for some better viewing platforms, but for now, I think that's good. Now, ultimately, as we get more confident in building the park, what we'll do is probably have like a really nice central resort location around this lake. But for now, it's early days. You know, we just need to get guests in, and we need to get them paying money, so we're going to start off simple, alright? This is still not connected to a path, apparently. You're kidding me. Alright, let's delete this one. And then I don't understand how that wasn't connected. Obstructed by arrival point. Is this a terrain thing that's happening right now? I don't know what's going on. Oh, no path to other buildings. That's fine. Okay, cool. No worries at all. Yeah, sweet. This is great. We can sort of beautify this as well as we go, but I think we just need to get up and running first. So, operations. Now, what do we need? We need a couple of things. Visitor center. Headquarters that enable operations and scientist management. So, is this operations or is this... I should have put this in the middle here. I think this should be one of the first things that people see when they come to Jurassic Park. Okay, fine. Let's delete this beautiful roundabout that I spent ages building. And instead, we're going to have the building down first. So, once again... And forgive me, I'm still getting familiar with all of the controls and whatnot. Is there a way that I can get this to snap to... Okay, what I think I should do is build this path on a straight... like that. Right? And then we can put down the visitor center front and center. And I'm still... I like my idea of, I like my idea of doing a fountain. I think that'd be fun. But for now, let's just pop this down. I hope... I'm sure there's some kind of snapping tool that I'm missing. Oh, hang on. Toggle angle snap. Or advanced move. What if we go shift? No? Okay, that's just snapping to the angle. Let's just do that. I think it'll be fine. We'll hook the path up. Bang on. And then this will need to kind of curve around, maybe. Yeah, that looks alright. It looks a little weird, but we can have some amenities here. That's fine. And then this is pretty much just going to do the exact same thing. Let's see if we can imitate this. And then go out like this. Oops. I think I went a little too early. Huh, it's not giving me the curve straight away. I wonder why that is. Oh, that's why. Yeah, okay. I committed. Yeah. And then, yeah. Looks a little wonky. That's okay, you know? That's what beautification is for. See, this is saying no path to arrival point, but the arrival point's right there. Do I need to move this? I don't know. I think there's a bit of a glitch here, maybe. Oh, I just deleted the whole thing. Let's try and place it again, because, yeah, I'm not sure that was working correctly. Where was the arrival point? Yeah. Maybe it was a little too close to the cliff. Okay, I'm going to turn off angle. Snap, or whatever it is. Yeah, you know what? I think it was just because it was, like, ever so slightly outside of the buildable area. Not sure why it let me place it, but that's okay. And then... No, I think it's because this is not like... For some silly reason, this isn't considered a path area. So maybe we need to bring this around. Like that. Yeah, that's fixed it. That's fixed it immediately. And then we can just do the same here. We still kind of get our roundabout. You know what? I think that looks kind of cool. I think that looks fine, especially if we put some of these beautiful palm trees in. Which I can spend thousands of hours doing. But I won't right now. Okay, so that's our visitor center, and this is already looking fantastic. So this is the view that people will have when they get off the chopper and they see the original Jurassic Park building. I love that.